Hello, race fans, and welcome to Off Camper TV's coverage of the Northwest Truck Series, sponsored by Walls Beard Co., Sarge's Place, Volt Vapes, Sasquatch Crossing, and Sim Stuff. Tonight, the series comes to the Sin City for 100 laps in the running of the Hungry Dragon 150. Also, tonight is the night we have been waiting on since January. This is the race to set the grid for the 8 drivers who will be eligible to compete for the Northwest Truck Series Championship at Miami in June. Joining me tonight in the booth is Katie Reed and Tony Knuckles. How are y'all guys doing tonight?
I am cooked. I'm hot. It is very hot here. But it's going to be hot out there on the track, too. Looking forward to watching these guys battle it out. And I guess the guys to keep an eye on are going to be the 68 of Gary LaViolette. And who was the other driver in that mix for the final spot?
Chad Barker.
Yeah, you got about 4 trucks in that battle. You got Jeff Stabnow, who needs to finish at least 19 or higher. Gary LaViolette, Chad Barker, and Ryan Maines technically could still get in, but it's going to be a long shot.
Yeah, he's going to have a great day and have everyone else just not make it. So. Yeah, I'm excited for this race. I'm ready to get started. This is the last race before the chase, which we all know can make things a little exciting here. This is a great track for them to run on. 1.5 mile track, and the weather's looking pretty decent right now as a couple of drivers are still going through qualifying. Gonna look at that. The air temp not so bad right now at 78 degrees. Track temp though is slowly climbing, starting at 104 Fahrenheit, which is insane. Winds out of the north at 2 miles per hour with 55% humidity, so it's pretty crazy out there on track, but hopefully these guys can stay cooled under the helmet because they are going to need it with this last race before the chase.
Yeah, and something I've been noticing about the weather here lately, or ever since we actually started, they are running iRacing default.
That would explain the air temperature, because this time of year in Vegas, it's 100 degrees.
Yeah, a little bit hotter than 78, I'd have to say.
Oh, yeah. All right, now, provisional poll, you have the front row taken up by newly formed Wicked Chassis out of the drivers of Mark Walls and Sean Brightsman, about 8/1000ths of a second off of each other. Gary LaViolette, the guy on the bubble tonight, in the 8th spot in the points. Right behind him, looking for Jeff Stabnow. He is in 14th. Like we said, he just has to finish in 19th or better with the 23 truck field we have tonight. And Chad Barker blew up on his qualifying lap, sitting back in position number 18.
Quite a few people did, actually, and not just from the same team either. So a couple of guys having issues on their second lap were not able to make it basically on tape is what I'm hearing. Too much tape on the front end, not able to make it to the end of that last lap there, and that's really going to hurt someone that we mentioned early on, Wes. That is Chad Barker. He is now qualified 18th after practicing first.
Yeah, definitely going to hurt him. He's got his work cut out for him if he wants to make this chase. He has to finish at least 10 points ahead of Gary. That 18 truck got to make up 10 positions on the track tonight. 42 Nathan Little, newly acquired by Dog Bear Racing. He's sitting there in P4 right now as we're getting ready to wind down qualifying.
Yeah, great pickup by them. He is a great driver, great person. We've loved to watch him grow throughout this season. He is sitting third in the standings for Rookie of the Year. Unfortunately, the two guys in front of him just too good to catch up for him, unfortunately, but hopefully next season he'll be right in the running for the points lead overall. Right now, those two gentlemen that are in front of him are Brian Barnes with the top spot, leading Jeff Stabnow by 18 points. So Brian, for missing 2 races, was able to come back and rebound and get that points lead once again. So Jeff's got his work cut out for him for the Rookie of the Year standings, but Jeff is obviously going to be more focused tonight on the overall standings, trying to make the chase.
Well, as we heard earlier, the overall standings are what determine the rookie of the year. So if Jeff ends up dropping out and not being able to finish in the top 19 of the field, I believe that's going to solidify Brian Barnes as rookie of the year. Not sure how that point is going to work, but we're getting the grid rolling for you here in a couple seconds.
Looks like these drivers are finally getting settled in. It's about time to go.
All right, and here is your starting grid for the Hungry Dragon 150 here at Las Vegas. You got Mark Walls starting in the pole position here. To his outside, Sean Breisman, his teammate, rolling off in second. Drew Lalonde in the 31 for Dog Bear Racing in third. And Gary LaViolette, Bubble Boy right now, as I like to call him, rolling off in fourth. Got Nathan Little in fifth, D. Palmer sixth, Nick Kuhn and Trenton Barrington making up row number 4. Then you have Andrew Williams in ninth and Dan Stussy qualifying in the top 10. Kip Leo putting down a excellent qualifying time for him. He's going to roll off in 11th. Brett Johnson 12th. Andy Vogt in 13th. John Ottenbacher 14th. Wayne Hutchinson locked into the chase, going to start in 15th. 16th is Jeff Stabnow. The 88 of Ray Parch is rolling off in 17th. Carl Burke 18th. 19th is Chad Barker. And rounding out your top 20 is going to be Nicholas Bishop. Ryan Mays is going to roll off at 21st. And two provisionals. What is looking like Brian Barnes is going to be rolling off in 22nd. And Stabnow can breathe a sigh of relief. He only has to finish ahead of 3 trucks now, as William Fletcher is not going to be gridding up or racing this race here tonight. Cars are rolling around this 1.5-mile oval here in the Las Vegas desert. Any predictions tonight, guys?
It's tough to predict. I think obviously we might have a few cautions here. I think it's gonna be some trouble with someone in the chase. Someone in the chase is gonna have problems. Someone not locked in. I think that's my one prediction for this. I don't know if the points will change because of it, but I think that someone is definitely gonna have problems in the back end of the chase. So I'm extremely excited to get this started.
I think you're going to see just a couple of these drivers, maybe all of them, the ones that are locked into the chase. I think you're going to see them running very aggressive because they don't really have anything to lose.
All right, pace car is going to make that hard left-hand turn down to the safety of the pit lane. Mark Walls has control of the field, and at number 29, Walls Beer Co. Machine. And we are under green here in Vegas.
Very good start by Mark Walls. They're going to be able to clear the 46, which are the top 2 we saw last week. But Sean Weissman was our winner from that. Mark Walls now trading places with him. The 31 down on the bottom there, finally competing with these guys as the 46 has got the draft behind the 29, 31. Third position.
Right behind him. Well, actually, they're still side by side. Lalonde working on the inside, trying to get around Brightsman here. Going to set his sights on the 29 of Walls. He is clear. Move Drew Lalonde up to the second position. Mark Walls leads the first lap.
Yeah, Drew Lalonde was not going to go easy there, which is how we're used to seeing him. This year he's had a pretty rough year, but this is exactly how we expect to see him early on. Doing a great job hanging in there, and he's had some bad luck, as have a few other drivers who are known to be good, but they are side by side. Drew has him cleared right now. We're going to go back behind him side by side once again as Trent Barrington making his way up through the field, looking good. Good to see him have a nice run here. 23 getting a little loose there off of turn 1. That is D. Palmer on the inside, is the 67 of Andrew Williams.
Yeah, they're definitely tight right now off of 2.
Williams going to lose a couple of spots. Violet's going to get around him. Nick Kuhn trying to make a charge to the outside. Not going to be able to put a run together as he's always under fire from the 16 to Kip Leo. Kip trying to make a good run here tonight. Already into the top 10. And it's pretty much single file sides. Andrew Williams diving it in there on the inside of Gary LaViolette.
Yeah, Gary's going backwards, and Chad Chad Barker's going forwards. This is exactly what we expected based on practice speeds. Gary is about where he was on practice qualifying. He is starting to lose a few spots here, so he's got to keep control of that. Because remember, 10 points, 10 spots separates the 68 and the 18, who is now back into the 17th position, losing another spot to the 88 of Ray Partridge, who is finally back on the track here for this series. The 17 of Ryan Maines behind him as well.
Up front battle for third, though. Nathan Little underneath the 31 of Drew Lalonde. Something must have happened to that truck because he's already got passed by Brightsman. Was second across the line last time by. 42's going to clear him. Here comes Strickland Barrington underneath.
We got somebody
fourth.
in the wall.
Oh, that is John Odenbacher. Oh, gets clean by the 13 of Nicholas Bishop. Wow. No caution, but he just absolutely got knocked in the back by the 13. 13's going to have to tow. 089 still trying to make his way on the track. Our leaders are going to catch him anytime now if John keeps that slow, but he is speeding up now.
Back up front, 23, D. Palmer. Still under fire there. Barrington going to clear him, going to maintain that fifth position, but not by much. D. Palmer having his hands full here. Almost 3 wide coming down the front stretch. Andrew Williams underneath the 2. He's going to try to complete that pass here in turn number 1.
Ooh, thinking about going 3 wide. D. Palmer backs out of it. Probably smart for the best. And the
Oh,
67
Andrew
is off.
Oh, heavy impact on the inside wall
smacks
there.
the wall, and unfortunately for him, no caution, which means he is going to have to take a tow if he's going to, his engine is totally gone, so he'll have to take a tow, which means he'll fall down multiple laps here, and that is not what he wanted to do, but luckily, he is locked in.
Guys, I've been watching the 18 of Chad Barker, number 1 in practice. He is just not able to move forward. In fact, he's lost a couple positions.
Ooh, the 78 of Dan Stussy got shoved in the back. Oh, the 23 gets turned by the 7 of Brett Johnson. Kid gets clean. 24. 24, Jeff Stab now. That is one of our chase contenders.
What in the world
This is going to get interesting here. Jeff Stab now basically needs 3 to 4 more cars to go out before him. He cannot go out of this race. Luckily, he has that fast repair under his belt. If he can use that, that's great. But he's got a long way to go without that fast repair if he uses it this time.
Yeah, we're working lap 9 out of the scheduled 100 here tonight. Stab now is going to have to count his P's and Q's and probably just ride around in the back, trying to avoid all these incidents. Just looks like the 7 had a little bit more room.
Oh, I'm so miserable watching the 67. He is still coasting. He is still not decided to take the tow, and there's no way he'll make it to his box. He's finally stopping to tow, but oh man, that is heartbreaking. He was trying to make it, and the 089 is out as well. Andy Vogt still stuck in his spot, but yeah, a couple of big drivers caught up in that.
Yeah, D. Palmer, one of them. He is locked into the chase right now, sitting in 5th with the win, so he does get a couple bonus points heading into the chase. It looks like everybody's coming down pit road. Wall's leading them down.
Oh, 24 engine just busted on pit lane, but he absolutely will make it to his pit box here. Oh, I thought he slowed down too much, but he didn't. He's good.
All right, race off pit road. Brian Barnes is going to win the race off pit road. Walls, Brightsman, looks like Lalonde and Little going to be your top 5 coming out of the pits here.
The 24 of Jeff Stab now has used that fast repair. Keep that in mind because he is one of the guys. Basically, I say on the bubble, it's going to be tough for someone like Chad Barker to jump up, but this is exactly what he needed to do it.
Yeah, now that only means, if Barker can win the race. Now, if he falls to 22nd on the track, the 18 could finish 4th or better.
Yeah.
But the way he's running right now, he's going to have to swing something in the setup on pit lane, maybe add a couple spring rubbers or something to get that truck just right for him as he is struggling, sitting back there in 13th. Looks like Barnes is going to come down and surrender the lead and come back to the attention of his crew.
I'm gonna take a look on Brian Barnes, see what happened to him, why he did not pit. I don't know if that was for certain reason he decided to stay out there. Let me check our cameras here on pit lane, and I'm watching it. It looks like he just drove right past his pit. That's exactly what happened. Just completely missed his pit. He was actually the first pit box on pit lane, and I think he expected to be a little further up and completely missed it. That'll happen.
Gotta have that situational awareness.
One thing iRacing should add, a freaking the number sign moving.
Yeah, right. Because they're all stable. They're all stationary up at the top, and so you can't really tell them apart. You're looking for colors, but pretty much everyone uses black or some type of other color, and so it's hard to tell if you're not, lime green or something like that. It's really tough, which he is not. So it can be tough on pit lane here, but luckily he was able to get down there. It did not go down a lap, but he's got a lot of time to pick up here. He qualified 22nd, so he started in the back, but still needs to pick up some spots here.
Yeah, a couple guys go get the wave around here. The 089 Andy 13. That's Ottenbacher and Bishop, respectively. They're going to look to get the wave around here as the lights are off of the pace car. We're going to line them up 2 by 2 and bring them back to the start-finish line to get back under green flag conditions. Looks like Mark Wall is going to elect to take the high side on this restart.
It is worth noting that the 089 and 13 are not taking the wave around to get back on the lead lap. They're taking the wave around to go 1 lap down. So those two will be battling for the lucky dog here. And because they are still 1 lap down, Andy Vogt, who is 2, and Andrew Williams, who is 3 laps down, it's going to be even tougher for those guys to get back into this race.
Keeping an eye on the Bubble Boys here. Gary LaViolette, 68, all the way back in 17th. Maybe a slow stop there, repair some damage.
Barker up to 11th.
Yeah, Barker and Stab now sitting in 11th and 12th.
Stabnow's got to be more careful here because, again, if he's caught up in someone else's wreck, his game on.
All right, pace car is working about a turn number 4. Going to get the green flag, completing lap number 12 to start lap number 13. And we're off. Green flag back into the air for the Hungry Dragon 150.
Yeah, a massive jump for the first 2 rows there. 29 able to get off rather quickly. 46 going to sneak on into the 2nd position. 3rd is still up for grabs, although the 31 easily going to drive down there on the bottom and take that 3rd position. 42 in 4th. The 2 is in 5th, and then back behind them, he's got a side-by-side battle for 6th.
Yeah, Nick Kuhn on the outside. Wayne Hutchison locked into the chase right now. That one truck battling to the inside of that 19 Chevrolet of Nick Kuhn. Number 1 Toyota looking to take over that 6th position. Looks like he's going to do it. And here comes Kip Leo underneath the 19 as well. Kip's putting together a good run as long as he can stay off the apron.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Kip Leo having a great race, which is exactly what he needs to help his season. Oh, almost threw wide for a second there. 16 is going to drift on up to the top. 88 diving down in there. Ray Parker coming back on the track. 18 moving up through the field. That's exactly what he needed. Almost 2 by 2 by 2 throughout the back here.
Yeah, 24 kind of almost in the middle of the hornet's nest here. You got a former teammate. Looks like that is the 23. D. Palmer looking to get up here. Ryan May's going to get into the side of the 23 for a second. May's going to have a big loss there. Going to lose a spot to the 7. And Stabnow is going to get away from that situation.
The 16 of Kip Leo, like I mentioned before, has had a tough year, but it's good to see him having these good races because it's exactly what we expected from him at the beginning of this season. And even in front of him, Ray Partridge, he hasn't run a full season. He's only run 4 races. This is his 5th race of the season and race number 18 for us. So Ray Partridge able to come back and make a few runs here, which is great. It gives a little more competition to these guys because Ray is a good driver. He is all the way up to 8th now.
looking pretty stout here. Almost a battle for the lead, just about. Sean Brightsman all over the rear bumper, that number 29 of Walls. I think they're just going to ride it out for right now. They have put a little gap on the 31 of Drew Lalonde. About a half a second separates him from the leader. And got to give it up to Trent Barrington. He's really turning it around here in the last couple of races.
Yeah, absolutely. He really has. And you can go and look at his standings, and you can tell his finishes earlier on in the season. Don't want to throw him under the bus here, but they were far back in the pack. A couple of problems, not his issues, but he did tend to wreck a little bit earlier on in the season. But now, the end of this season, he's getting some great finishes in, and that's exactly what we like to see.
I mean, he's sticking up there pretty good too. He's right there on the back of that number 42 machine of Nathan Little. Looks like he has some stuff on board tonight on that 42 machine.
Well, if you remember, I think it was Chicagoland. He was having a great run, and then unfortunately, just at the end of the race, I mean, that was just the weirdest scenario where he came up off a turn, going into turn 1, and just completely cleaned someone's clock when they were exiting pit lane. So he's been having good races. It's finishing that we need to see if he can do tonight. Hopefully, he can get down to it. He's currently in the 5th position, and again, this would be his first top 5 of the season.
Yeah, that was the laser-guided missile system activation.
I mean, I've never seen anything like it. That was crazy. It almost had as if it just complete shutdown of his systems there. But either way, he is back into the top 5, and it looks like we have our first DNF of the night. Carl Burke has left the racetrack, and Carl was on the lead lap there. I'm not quite sure what went wrong.
I have no idea either. You didn't hear any communications over between
nothing.
the spotters or anything like that. So,
and it wasn't as if, I'm looking at his last lap. He went all the way to the back of the field.
Ooh, 16.
On the backstretch, he just pulled off and.
Yeah, Kip Leo sideways, pretty much coming off of turn 2, and to get way out of it, may have clipped the wall just a little bit. Stabnow's going to get around him. But he's going to lose that 10th position and fall back into the clutches here. He's falling back towards the 17 of Brian Maines, who's up battling Deep Palmer back here. Ooh, Palmer going to look to the inside. Aggressive move there from the 23. But Maines going to run that top lane, and looks like Leo is back up to speed behind him, Andy Vogt. He's 2 laps down back here battling beside the 7, trying to get a lap back the hard way.
While that's happening, I do want to mention the 78 of Dan Susi decided to bring it on in for a pit stop, and he is currently quite a few. I think he just went 1 lap down. Got a quick pit stop there. Was able to make it back out, but unfortunately, he is not in lucky dog position. That belongs to the 089 of John Odenbacher, who is basically cruising at this point.
Battle for 3rd, 42, Nathan Little underneath the 31 of Drew Lalonde. Drew Lalonde got really tight coming off of 2 last time around. Looks like Nathan Little has got the spot, put the 42 up to 3rd in his debut with Dog Bear.
Yeah, and a new paint scheme. Those colors look familiar, but he has indeed changed his sponsor. It is now Sim Stuff on the hood with Sarge's Place out back. So a good looking paint scheme for him, and he still keeps his target colors, but a brand new race team for him, and I think that's a really good fit for him.
And that was a theme for Dog Bear this year with all their paint schemes. They all had, like their favorite driver's paint scheme or their favorite paint scheme.
Yeah, underneath.
They just, changed up the contingencies a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit here. I'm looking at the one of Wayne Hutchinson, who is diving into turn 1, washing up, and
he got him.
Turn, takes out the 19. Who takes 18.
Ooh, 24.
18 is involved, so it's 24.
Oh no, Stabnow involved. Hard, heavy contact. He got ran over from the 7 trying to slow up. He locked him up and got loose, smacked the outside wall. That is not good for the chase contender in Stabnow.
No, it's not. He needs to keep going. This is not going to be pretty. And now the 18 was involved, but the 18 has a quick repair and only has a little right front damage. I'm going to take a look back at that replay, see how much damage he really got from that. But the 24 definitely got the most of it. Ooh, yeah, a big hit by the right front of the 18. He cleaned the 88 out.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's even worse for the 24. I'm wondering if he has any required. I mean, I'm assuming he's got to have required damage. We'll see how much he has when he comes into the pits here. Again, does not have that fast repair. He needs a few other drivers to get out of the race before he does.
We had a good 11 lap run there, almost 12 laps. But everybody's gonna come down, take 4 fresh virtual Goodyear Wrangler tires,
Ooh.
and a couple cans of virtual Sunoco race fuel.
Finn has decided to stay out. He is a few laps down. 67's a few laps down, as well as well, I think pretty much everyone a lap down. Looks like I think the 089 should be our lucky dog here, and yes, as they go 3 wide on the track there, 089 John Onbacher will receive your lucky dog. Oh, the 18 is off of pit lane.
Ooh, a spicy little
Interesting.
2-tire meatball there.
Actually, he missed his pit.
Come on, man.
I am looking for him to stop, and he did not. He just came right on through pit lane. No stop. So, unfortunate for him, didn't get in there. The 29 will be the first one off, followed by the 46, the 42, the 31. That is your current top 5. But again, Chad Barker should absolutely come into pit lane here. No reason to risk it, especially with the 24's trouble, who is still on pit lane, has not moved.
Yeah, keep an eye on him as your lap down car is coming down the pit lane. Lucky dog recipient John Ottenbacher hits his stall pretty good. And 24 is down and away. So not as much damage as we thought then.
No, I guess not. I think he's got enough damage, though, to be pretty... Jeff Stabnell's a good driver, but I don't think he's that good. He's going to have some big trouble. You can look down at that right front. I mean, it is pretty shattered right now.
Yeah, I'm getting reports that he had about 5 minutes of optional repair, so he might have just taken his required there and going to leave some of the optional for the rest of the race. He should be down on horsepower, though, so we should see him floating around towards the back half of the field. Looks like, let's see, who is that? That's Vogt, Williams, LaViolette, Stussy are all going to try to take waiver rounds here.
Yeah, Chad Barker has decided to come into his pits. He has made it in. So it looks like he might be having some trouble with the pit stall. I don't know what Chad Barker's doing. He went in reverse in his pit stall. I think he was trying to register some damage or something that they weren't fixing, but we'll get the insight on that and figure out what's going on. But he is down and out of pit lane here.
Very, very odd here. Big chase implications happening right in front of our eyes here. We're just over a quarter of the way into the race. We're working lap 28 of the scheduled 100. Should get the 1 to go signal coming around to the flag stand. So, I mean, it's basically just been single file racing here tonight. Everybody got into their groove there after that second restart, and a lot of single file. Definitely class of the field once again on the year. At 29 and at 46. We just got to hope that at the end it stays green so we can actually get a decent race out of these boys.
Yeah, and you might say, okay, well, the 29 is a little bit faster here. That's pretty obvious. So the 46 will just let him go, right? Not a chance. The 46 is he has the second most wins in the series right now behind Mark Walls. So if Mark Walls gets another win, that's just more bonus points for him. And that is something that Sean Breitzman cannot afford to let happen. So I'm not saying Sean's going to go out there and wreck him. I'm just saying he's not going to let him go so easily.
Yeah, if they count each win as a point, I mean, that's going to be a 4-position advantage for Mark Walls on Breitzman, who's going to be going to have at least 2-point advantage unless the one of Wayne Hutchinson can win here tonight, and he's up to 5th, so he's got a shot to win this as well. A couple Dog Bear guys coming back towards the front. I mean, you got Wicked Chassis in the front row, Dog Bear second row, and then Dog Bear Atlas and Kip Leo, who's up to 6th.
Yeah, I have to assume something happened on his qualifying effort because Wayne practice second, qualified 15th. So he is fast on this track, just didn't get qualified effort in. He won it.
And then I got TRGA showing up in the top 7 as well. Mainz on the inside of row number 4. Green flag back out into the air here. Gonna complete 29 work on lap 30. We got 71 to go.
Yeah, Nathan Little clear in third, 46 clear in second, and 29 obviously clear out in front. 42 going to mix it up here for second place already. Finally, top 2 getting some competition here as the newcomer to Dog Bear, giving them a nice showing here. Really good run by the 42. Going to stall it out into turn 3. Can he get that lead? He's got the lane here. That low lane's pretty good throughout this turn. Won't be able to clear him up off, not for a while at least. The 46 though going to have that run up top.
Yeah, 46 using that momentum to his advantage right now, working down the front stretch. Going to throw it into turns number 1 and 2. Little is clear. Brightsman's going to get a little bit of a run coming off 2 down to Nellis straightaway. Back here, going to stick that fender back outside, working into turn number 3. Little's going to have just a little bit of an advantage. 46 going to squeeze in behind him. Woo, that got close for a second there. Find something. Oh, we have the 16 and the 4 Brian Barnes back here trying to get around Kip Leo. Kip's lost a couple spots on that restart. Push up the track a little bit. Brian Barnes going to have the advantage coming down the back straight. Going to head to the inside and take over that 7th place from Kip Leo. As we're gaggled up here in the front though. Nathan Little has cleared the 46. And Drew Lalonde is all over the 46's rear bumper. Back through the rest of the pack here. Got 23.
Got something developing here, guys. The 18 of Chad Barker, you'll notice he is 16 seconds behind our leaders. That damage was a little too much for him. He decided to not use that fast repair. Doesn't hurt him so bad because he still has it, but he needs a caution before he goes a lap down because right now he is fading fast out back.
Well, yeah, the leaders are now halfway down the back straight, and he's just now coming out of turn number 4. So it's only going to be about maybe 2 laps before they catch him.
Yeah, it's going to be quick. He really needs a caution. And if anything, he needs to stay out in front of right now our current Lucky Dog recipient would be the 13 of Nicholas Bishop in 18th position. Nicholas just going into turn 1 now. Chad is on the backstretch into turn 3, so he's got a decent lead on the 13th, but he really needs a caution.
Yeah. Nathan Little, though, taking over that 2nd spot with some gusto, though. He's trying to set his sights on the leader of Walls, but he's about a half a second behind him as they cross the start-finish line to complete lap 35. I believe the 18 has announced that he is going to pit in this time by. Try to get that fast repair and salvage his race here.
Yeah, it's probably a smart idea. Do it now before you go too far behind our leader here, because it was really hurting him there. But we'll follow him as he leaves pit lane. As we're looking on the track at 17, making a pass. Moving up there, here, up into the 4th position. The 1 of Wayne Hudson going to fall back into 5th. A reminder, Ryan Mainz qualified 21st and now up to 4th position. So a hell of a run by Ryan Mainz. If he gets up to the front, he might have something for Mark there, as Nathan Little is currently trying to catch Mark as well. Looks like both Nathan and Sean are catching Mark here.
Yeah, I think all Mark wants to see is that red and orange side by side in the rear view. Brightsman all over the rear bumper, but the 31 must have had some problems. He was running in the 4th position, and he lost a couple of spots there all the way back into the 6th spot. But Little is coming. He's got a fast hot rod here tonight. That 42 Chevrolet trying to get up to the back bumper of that 29 as they're getting ready to come up on the 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Now, Stabnow's only running 169 mile an hour barely hitting 170. Everybody else is hitting 186, at least on the straights. And, ooh, Little's going to shove up a little bit. Going to have to get out of it. Real tight coming off of turn 2. Going to lose a lot of momentum. Brightsman trying to capitalize on it, but he's going to back off here. Little's going to have to try to save a little bit of tire, and here they come up on the lap traffic.
Yeah, Jeff Stab now, he's going to have to move out of the way, which is not surprising. He would. That is his teammate leading and his teammate in third right there. So I'm going to let them clear. Even though 42 is not his teammate, there's no reason to hold him up. He is just way too slow.
That's only going to leave about 15 trucks on the lead lap. Nick Kuhn, the last one on the lead lap. Now, he with his damage, he's actually running about $1.76. So he's going to be all right for the next handful of laps.
And I have to comment on something. This race is not all for position, but the 10 is inside of the 67 back here, and it has been one hell of a race. The 67 is actually 2 laps down. The 10 is 1 lap down. The 089 is on the lead lap, and the 68 is on the lead lap. So they are fighting for position, but in front of them they are not, which is extremely interesting because they have been side by side for laps. And as I say that, end of all, the 67 goes, got hit by the 10 moving up on the track. Ooh, that's going to hurt Andrew Williams. He is just trying to recover from that first incident.
He's sitting 2 laps down right now in 19th. He's got a long way to come as Chad Barker on that last exchange. I believe he did get to repair his truck. He is going a lot faster than he was.
Yeah, he does have it repaired. That is correct. But he lost so many laps. I think he stayed out there a little too long. Probably should have pitted a little bit earlier. But either way, he is down 4 laps right now. He's got 4 other people in front of him that will get the lucky dog before him. He needs to take some wave rounds, and to do that, he needs cautions.
And lots of them. You know, for the sake of the race, let's hope they don't come. But, you know, Brightsman loose in turn 2. Going to shove up the track. Ryan May's going to get underneath of him. And here comes the 1. Brightsman just had it completely sideways in the middle of the track.
Yeah, he's going to go all the way back to 7th. The 7th position here. Moving back behind Brian Barnes, the 31 of Drew Lalonde, and the 1 of Wayne Hutchinson, that little group right there. 4th to 6th in front of him. Going to be able to catch it. He'll be able to join them in just a moment. But not only did he lose a little bit, Nathan Little is now a 2nd behind Mark Walls.
I think Walls turned on the afterburners there. Saved him a lot of tire. That 42 is probably worn out his tires here already. We're only about 14 laps into this run, so that's when the tires should start to go away on these machines.
Yeah, sounds about right. Oh, the 10, 3 wide with the 24 and the 089. It's been crazy back here. The 24 again is very slow right now. He's not giving up though. He's still got a lot to lose, but he's looking good right now because Chad Barker, he's having just as much trouble.
Well, he's back into the 18th position, and Chad Barker just passed, and too bad it wasn't for position. Stabnow is the last car 1 lap down. If Andrew Williams can get another lap, that's going to put Stabnow on that magic number. But Gary's not exactly having a good race tonight either. Got into a little bit of trouble early on. He's going to have to rebound, as he normally does. I mean, you look at his stats, 6 top 5s and 10 top 10s on the season.
Big battle up here, guys. 42 side by side with the 1 of Wayne Hutchinson. The 46 side by side with the 31. The 42, I think his tires are shot as well. The 1 able to get by. 31 looking to get by as well. The 46 used to this view. He's been cruising behind the 42 for a few laps now. And the 42's just come back to join him after the 46 and his slip. 4 is out of whack right now. He's going to lose a spot to the 88 as these guys are just trying to save their tires because they are shredding right now.
Yeah, you can tell who's in long run mode. Ryan Maines, though, up to P2 after getting around Nathan a little earlier. But he's about to become victim to the 1 of Wayne Hutchinson, whose truck has came alive here in the later part of this run.
Yeah, it really has. He's been doing a great job. Wayne, again, has a couple wins this season. He's looking to be competitive in the chase this year. And he can do that by doing exactly what he's doing. Oh, 46 out of whack. Takes the 42 with him. The 4 just going to get by. Should bring out a caution here. It does. 42 takes some damage down there on the wall. 46 doesn't hit anything.
Well,
That, Chad Barker's wishing that would have come earlier, because man, that would have helped him. But if a couple of guys take a wave around, he takes the wave around. Who knows? He's just gonna have to do it every lap though. Every caution he's gonna have to do it.
Yeah, they should be within their fuel window after this caution period. So
yeah, we are
he should be
going
able
to
to do
cross
it.
over to halfway in just 2 laps.
And we're going to do that coming into the pits here, or coming out of pits for the leaders. But yeah, Gary LaViolette running 13th right now. He's only 5 positions ahead of Jeff Stabnow. He needs to pick up 4 more spots on track before that 24 can get back onto the lead lap. So if it froze right now and Stabnow finishes in 18th, he's got to finish in 9th or better.
Yeah, something interesting to bring up with Ryan Maines having such a good race right now, coming into this race, Ryan Maines, if my calculations are correct, was only 18 points behind Gary LaViolette. So Ryan Maines could jump up into the chase if he ends up staying where he is, and Gary LaViolette doesn't close this race out.
Yeah, that is true. What is Brightsman doing? Brightsman way off into the grass. Don't know if that was a 68 coming out or going into his pit, but a little exchange between the 68 and the 46. 29 down and away, 17 down and away, 31, 1, and looks like it was that Ray Partridge, 88. That's going to be your top 5 coming off of the pit lane.
Yeah, worth noting, the 42 actually popped an engine. He is slowly, and I mean slowly, coasting into his pit box here. Should be able to make it, but he broke it coming into pit lane. Everyone had to go around him, which was why everyone was getting a little caught up, though. He is now stopped in his pit box here. He's going to use that fast repair for himself, going to fix that engine. But again, we'll have to see here. The 18 obviously going to take that wave around, so will the 10 and the 67. So that helps the 18 out, but still, even if he does get back on the lead lap, he's got to make it all the way through the field, and we're already to halfway.
Yeah, good thing for the 24 too. He was able to fix probably about a minute and some change worth of damage on that machine. So, and Nicholas Bishop getting that wave around, only going to put 2. Actually, scratch that. Andrew Williams going to take the wave around. Going to put 3 trucks left on the lead lap. Or on 1 lap down, excuse me. Only 3 trucks. I mean, this thing, I think they would call slaughter rule by then.
Something like that. But yeah, you are correct. The 13 of Nicholas Bishop that you were referencing got the lucky dog, and a couple of these guys are taking the wave around as well. And Andy Vogt decided to bring it on into the pits here in the 10, so he will stay 1 lap down. Jeff Stabnow currently going to be, I think, 1 lap down here. So although Chad Barker has moved from 4 to 3 laps down, he's still has some work to go through. Andrew Williams still has to get back on the lead lap. It doesn't do it this time, so his work is definitely cut out for him here.
In theory, he needs about 6 cautions. I don't think he's going to get that. Looking at an average caution period of about 4 to 5 laps. 24 going to take it to the inside. Okay, he was slowing down pretty fast. I didn't know whether or not he was going to amscray or what. But right now, LaViolette running in 10th after that pit. He needs 1 more spot. 24 is going to come down and repair some more damage as the field comes to 1 to go till we go back to green flag racing. Just past halfway here in the Hungry Dragon 150 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Northwest Truck Series. This is the last race until the chase.
Yeah, something else to consider here. 18 points separates the 17 of Ryan Maines in second and the 68 of Gary LaViolette in 9th right now. Take into consideration, if Ryan Maines leads a lap, that's 1 more point. He can't lead the most laps. Mark Wallace has pretty much already locked that up. That is out of his range. But if he wins, that's even more points that he gets. So The better he does here, Ryan Maines, the less points he actually ends up having to get with Gary LaViolette stuck in the back. So this could happen. It could happen, especially with all the trouble that's going on with Jeff Stabnow. I'm not going to say it will, but it absolutely could. It is definitely within reach.
I'm gonna have the 68 to have some really rotten luck. Back there in the 10th position, though, I'm gonna get ready to go back to green. Got Mark Walls with command of the field, and he is gone. Green flag back into the air here at Vegas.
Yeah,
17 missed his gear or something.
Yeah, it was a big jump for the 29. The one behind him, he's cleared already. The 17 though, getting a very big push with the 31, but the 17 didn't have to get off the gas because of his bad start. And look at him, already back up into the second position. The 31's going to follow him right on through. The 88's trying to hook up onto that train as well.
And already back behind them, Brightsman's made up about, I don't know, about 3 or 4 positions.
Just a few. But Gary LaViolette all the way back to 12th now in just one lap.
He doesn't. Well, he's still got full power on that truck. He can hit about a $184 right there going off into the turn. But
yeah, Jeff Stabnow, he's already down to 168 throughout the corner coming out. He really doesn't even have to lift through the corner, barely at all. So that really tells you how slow he is right now. We'll keep an eye on that. But right now, currently in second position, 17 of Ryan Maines getting challenged from the 31 of Drew Lon. He clears him up off the corner. He's not going to squeeze the door just yet. He will have it into turn 1.
And Partridge trying to get a little piece of action as well. The 88 wants to get up there and try his hand at trying to cast the 29, but he's going to tuck into the line back behind the 17. Going to put Drew Lalonde back in the second position at a third place qualifying effort out of that 31 Dog Bear ride. New paint scheme for him this week. A little bit of a Sargent's place on it, I believe. And,
17 is just riding the bumper of the 31.
Yeah.
Sorry, and the 88 got caught up in at the 1. Look at that power run. Wayne Hudson on the bottom, going to reach all the way to the bumper of the 17 right now. And again, this is for third and fourth on the track. The 88 set up the 4, as Brian Barnes normally does, working his way up through the field. Brian Barnes qualified 22nd with no time on the chart, and he's all the way back up to 6th.
I think I know the reason why the 68 had to drop a couple spots there. Not because he was slow, it's because he had to do a little bit of adminning duty.
Oof. Quite possibly.
Yeah, because the 1 passed underneath the 17 on that, or passed underneath somebody on that start and caught a black flag, which is illegal in non-racing, but the way the bottom lane checked up, he had nowhere to go, no alternative means. So they went ahead and cleared the black flag for him, but the Violet back up to 11th right now. Actually back up in the 10th. He's on a charge right now. Got former front runners Brightsman and Little in front of him, but Brightsman is getting challenged by Kip Leo off of turn 2.
Yeah, Kip Leo staying in it, trying to have himself a good race. 46, he had a little bit of trouble we documented early on, got way out of it, had to give up 5 positions at the end of it. But he's now trying to recover as well. It's funny, Sean Brightsman and Nathan Little were our 2 second and third place pretty solidly. And now they're having problems. Oh, one's in the wall.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
caution is out.
Yeah.
17 came up and clipped him.
Yeah, 17 pushed it too hard in there and took him out. Baines, I believe he might be listening to the broadcast. He knows he has to win this thing, so.
Yeah. Maybe pushing hard, but Ryan Maines normally does push it hard. That's just who he is. So that doesn't really come as a surprise, but unfortunate for the 1 of Wayne Hutchinson, he got wiped out. But again, he is locked in. So Wayne, although really probably wants the win, he will not be too disappointed, as he will move on to the chase next. Well, actually 2 weeks from now, we go on to Talladega.
Yeah, this will be our first Thursday off since January. So
yeah,
us here in the booth, we love calling these races, but we would definitely be looking forward to that next week.
Yeah, these guys can
I
put
can
on
catch
some
up on sleep.
exciting races, and well, actually, me and Wes are on the East Coast, so these races are a little late for us, but we don't mind. We will call them all the same, as we do really enjoy this series with these drivers, make it interesting here, and it looks like everyone's coming on into the pits.
And Mark Wall's ringleader right now, lead them all down pit lane like a bunch of ants. You got Drew, and you can definitely tell it's Drew because Drew is pretty predominant on that on the nameplate there. I mean, that's huge. I dig it. You'll never lose that truck in the crowd, but maybe in a forest. Oh, Palmer blew his pit stall there. 23 going to have to back up and possibly crank it to the left. Yeah, he's going to have to. That's going to hurt D. Palmer there. He was running in the 11th position. Looks like Walls, Drew, and the 88. It's too close to call between the 46 and the 4. I'm going to have to go into, what do they
looks
call
like
that?
looks like on the exit cam, Brian Barnes just clipped him.
Yeah.
Just clipped him there. And that's great for Brian Barnes. Wouldn't it be awesome if going into the chase, Brian Barnes got his first win? I mean, that would be pretty impressive. And even missing a couple races, he's doing a great job. He came back, I mean, just in time to get locked in and recover. So really well done by the 4 of Brian Barnes. That is exactly what he needed. And up at the front, we will notice the 10 of Andy Vogt took the wave around. Not the wave around, but received the lucky dog, so he is back on the lead lap. The 67 decided to come in, which leaves one lone wolf out at the front of this pack that is not on the lead lap, and that is the 18 of Chad Barker. We documented he is having a rough night after really needing to come through and just not able to do it. He will get 1 lap back here, which will put him 2 laps down. He's going to need a lot of help here. He's going to need one of those cautions. Cautions breed cautions, I apologize.
The good thing is he's only 1 lap off of Stab now. The bad news is he's 2 laps off of the field. So
yeah, and he needs to get up towards the top end of the field to have any type of chance here. And unfortunately, he's going to need a lot of help. He's going to need like back-to-back cautions, because not only does he need cautions to get those laps back, but he needs that final caution to get him up through the field. So he needs enough laps left to go through there, and that's really where he runs into trouble.
Well, we're going to get the field lined up here. 1 to go next time by. I want to remind you that on Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific time, we are covering the longest race of the year, the Pac Majors Sargent's Place 600 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's going to be with the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series cars. 600 laps, or 600 miles, 400 laps around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Make sure you pack a lunch, because we're going to pack a lunch, dinner, and a midnight snack for that race. Going to bring it to you live.
For us.
Yeah, live 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, right here on Off Camber TV. Also, next Tuesday, we're going to be covering the American Sim Racing Series, the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series. Going to be live to you at 9 p.m. Eastern for the LA Sim Sport 125 at Kansas.
At night, which are always great races down there in that series. Excited to get to that one. But again, Sunday's going to be great. Can't wait to see how those guys, they always put on a good competition for us, but that is a long race, and you got to be in it to win it to make it through that race. That's what we always call it, a Carl Edwards type of race. You got to be able to kind of just get comfortable and get in there and just run all the way through it. Ooh, 31 having massive problems here. He is blinking quite a bit. Gonna have to watch that. He actually went out for a few seconds there on the backstretch, but here comes the restart.
There we go. That iRacing Ford Mustang pace car going to come down to the pit lane. Walls is gone. Green flag back out into the air. pretty tame start. For the most part.
Yeah, pretty clean. That 31 is still blinking up in front of the 4. They really can tell where he is. They both have to kind of back off. The 4 does. Brian Barnes more than the 88. Ray Partridge going to keep it in there, trying to get by this 4. That 31 no blinking, making everyone nervous.
Yeah, definitely is. Ray Partridge, though, trying to get around his teammate as he's still coming in and out.
31's gone. Yeah, it's oh, and there we go.
Oh no!
There he
There it
goes.
is.
31 around. Oh, he blinked. We don't know where he is. He's gone. Where is he? 31. Ooh. We're gonna have to watch him. He was slowly running through the field. Let's see. I think the 4 ghosted through him. Got some damage there. And the 78 got some heavy damage from that. So the 78 and the 4, both of them caught up in that incident from the blinking 31 of Drew Lalonde. And that is really going to cause some problems for those two. The 4, though, and the 78, I believe, well, the 4 has his fast repair. I don't know about the 78. He's been involved in another wreck.
Yeah, tough break for a lot of these guys, but that's going to give Andrew Williams surviving all of that. He's going to get the lucky dog here on this caution. How many? We only ran 1 complete green flag lap, so
Yeah, that's gonna put the 67 on the lead lap via the lucky dog. Jeff Stabnow, I highly doubt, will receive the wave around. He's already coming to the pits. Jeff Stabnow has. See what happened to him. I mean, he just decided to come in the pits early. He's not even caring about the laps down, which I'm not surprised. But Chad Barker, he needs to take a wave around, but he just won't have the opportunity. He's behind all these lead lap cars that definitely won't pit.
yeah, Brian Barnes going to have to receiving all that damage as well as the 88, and I believe behind the 88. Let's see if I can find his number here.
I think you're referring to the 78, but the
78,
23
excuse me.
of G Palmer coming in. I think that's who you were
Yes.
looking for there. He's got his numbers are a little different than his pay. They're just, I don't know the word for it, but his numbers are kind of hard to see on his hood. You can see it a little bit on the side, and that's I think what we really have to look for there. As the 31 is blinking in his pit box, still a really tough race for him. But Jeff Stabnow out off on the pit lane, and Chad Barker again. He can't take the wave around this time, so he is still two laps down. Gonna go real quick to a race summary while these guys are cruising under caution here. Our leader throughout the night is Mark Walls. He has led all 66 laps that we have completed here out of the scheduled 100 for tonight. We have had 0 lead changes, obviously with Mark Walls leading them all, and 5 cautions for 18 laps. Pretty good race we've had so far. A few cautions that really might not have been needed. A couple of guys wrecked and got cleared off of the track, but the caution still came out. So I don't think we've really had any massive wrecks other than one that I can think of. A couple of cars just getting into each other, moving up throughout the corner and just cleaning their clocks. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's a unfortunate thing for aspect of Vegas here, because I've never ran one with the late afternoon skybox as they're running today, but I know during the regular skybox when the sun's beating down on the track at its most intense, it typically want to run the middle lane and arc it down into the bottom. And what I'm seeing here is there's a lot of guys that are trying to just go ahead and run the bottom, not being able to get enough grip, and they're just pushing it up, not apexing the corner right and just pushing up. And classic example of 17 into the 1 earlier today.
Yep, exactly. The one just got absolutely taken out, but the one did have a fast repair, and he has now used it and up into the 10th position. So luckily for him, he had that fast repair left, but watch for him to move up through the field here because he is still a very fast truck. And we do want to point out, give you guys a quick update. I know we've been doing it constantly through the night, but it is extremely important as this is the last race before the chase. So it'll come down to those last
All right, we'd like to apologize for that little technical difficulty. Apparently, technology didn't like us today. But we're back under green flag conditions. 30 laps to go as Mark Wallace comes across the line here. 29 remaining, matching his number. We are still single file back here for the most part. The 10 Andy Vogt getting a spot on the 089 of John Ottenbacher. That is for the 10th position on track. But 2 spots ahead of him, Gary LaViolette. He's pretty much good right now.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He needs to stay where he is. He can lose a few spots. Basically, if he stays on the lead lap, he's good. He has to stay on the lead lap, though.
Yeah, because he's got 10 spots on Barker, and Barker right now is in 19th. Still 2 laps down, almost 3/4 of the way through the race. So right now, Ryan Maines, though, he's hoping that 68 does have a couple of problems because he can still finish 20th, and if that happens, Ryan Maines has to come away with at least a 2nd place finish in order to get himself into the chase. Extreme circumstances, mind you. There's a lot of fast cars behind that 17 as he's under fire from the 46. Sean Bright's going to go underneath them.
Yeah, we say the 68 has to finish on the lead lap only if the 17 wins. If the 17 doesn't win or doesn't even finish in the top 3, Gary LaViolette's basically in. He's basically locked in. So keep an eye on that throughout this race. We are down to about 26 laps to go here. So we've got a few guys up at the front. Ray Partridge has moved himself into the 2nd position. Just saw Sean Brightsman move up into the 3rd. So Ryan Maines is out of the podium position right now, but someone is coming back with the surge here, and that is the 42 of Nathan Little. Fell all the way back outside of the top 10 for just a moment, but he is making his way back in, and he is just the last driver in the top 5.
He's got a pretty good gap to make up on that 17. Right now, Little leading the 2 of Fred Barrington, trying to look through the field, see if we have any kind of side-by-side for you. Actually, we do back here with 4. Brian Barnes underneath the 16 of Kip Leo. Kip Leo kind of falling off in the latter part of this race. We're 67. 67, Andrew Williams. Where did he come from?
3 laps down, apparently. That's exactly where he came from. He was multiple laps down. He took wave arounds. He got a lucky dog, and he is back on it. Reminder, the 67 qualified up in 9th position, looking like he's challenging the 089 of John Ottenbacher for 11th right now, but he qualified 9th and had that mishap on the track there and was able to go 2 laps down, so he's finally recovering from that, which is exactly what he needed on this night. He's already locked into the chase, but still, for morale, he really needed to get that recovery going.
Yes. If it finishes like it is right now, chase seating, definitely Mark Wall is definitely going to be your number 1. Sean Brightsman is locked in as the number 2 seed. Wayne Hutchinson is going to come home to 3rd, and then there's a 3-way tie between Andrew Williams, D. Palmer, and Jeff Staff now for the 4th seed. And then see Brian Barnes and LaViolette will tie for the 7th seed if they choose to do so. But definitely a good race for this final race for the chase. I mean, you couldn't ask for any more excitement. I mean, you got two of the contenders back here, mired laps down. You got one guy who's good old bubble boy there in the 68. Violet having a good run right now, up in the top 10. You couldn't ask for any more of a better race here.
Yeah, Jeff Stabnow gave you a scare early on, but that's luckily for him, Chad Barker. Really unfortunate he didn't take that fast repair when he should have, and because of that he had to pit under green, and that is what caught him so many laps down. Really just bad luck for the 18. He didn't know his damage was that bad. And someone else I want to call out real quick is the 10 of Andy Vogt. He also received the wave around not 2 cautions ago, and he's already back up into 8th position. But up in front of him, the 1 battling side by side with the 2 of Trenton Barrington, Wayne Hutchinson, going to lose that spot.
Yeah, Barrington's, like I said earlier in this race, he's put on some strong showings here in the last couple of weeks. He teamed up with Atlas Finishers a couple weeks ago as well, and the alliance has definitely worked out in his favor. He's been bringing a fast number 2 Alec Motors Chevrolet to the track for pretty much the last couple of weeks. And
Yeah, again, having good runs. He's having good races. It's just the finishes, just not able to close him out, whether others doing or not. But he's having a good run tonight. We'll see what he can do. But right now, getting challenged from the 10, the Andy Vogt is doing a great job again, recovering from issues that he had there after he was involved in a early incident. The 2 moving up the track.
Oh no! See, the two was in a wreck earlier as well. That was very, very dicey there. You probably couldn't put a sheet of paper in between both of those bumpers. But Andy Vogt's going to take over that 7th spot for Trenton Barrington. Barrington trying to fight back to the outside. But that 10's going to try to bring that 19. Nick Kuhn having a good run here tonight as well.
Yeah, the 10, the 2, and the 19. The 19 actually had a little trouble a few laps ago. I was watching him. He slid so far up the track, I could have sworn he was going to just take himself out there against the wall, but he caught it right at the end, was able to keep himself in the top 10. But right now, he's going to be challenged for 9th from the 67 of Andrew Williams.
Yeah, that Hungry Dragon Barbecue 67 truck. Definitely hungry back here as we've documented his struggles throughout the night. He's going to work underneath the 19 of Kuhn.
Ooh, 42, way out of it. He had to catch his truck. He came out of turn 1 and just slid all the way through and down the backstretch. He's currently falling all the way into 7th position before he catches his truck.
He might lose 7th to Barrington here. Barrington going to try to take a peek to the inside. Hold his truck down there. Yeah, he's pushing up the track now. Oh, he's pushing up. Nathan a little loose again into the wall.
Oh,
Nobody else gets into him, though. Nathan, he's still rolling. No caution. But big troubles for Nathan Little. Now, he was mathematically eliminated from the chase. But definitely one of the drivers to watch for next season. I can guarantee it.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, new team, and he was up to 2nd position, about to challenge for the lead. So, absolutely. Ooh, the 10. The 19. I'm sorry. Nick Kuhn. He almost cleaned the 2 of Trenton Barrington off the track completely, but he was able to catch that truck. And I'm pretty sure the 2 saw his life flash before his eyes. That was a crazy catch by the 19 there.
Oh, we got a truck in the grass on the front stretch. I believe that's 46. Sean Brightsman, real slow, trying to merge back into traffic here. He's going to have to do that really quick, get back up to speed. Wayne Hutchinson's coming. Going to go to the inside. Brightsman's going to do the smart thing and ride the outside. One's going to push up, and they're going to pretty much come off at the same speed. Andy Vogt going to look to take it almost 3 wide. Down to the bottom of the track. Andy Vogt looking to try and get into the top 5 for the first time tonight. Fighting with that 1 and underneath the 46 as well.
Yeah, we just crossed over to 12 laps to go, and this is exactly what Ryan Maines needed. He needed to have these people, the people in front of him have issues, but he also needs some help from the 68 of Gary LaViolette. He's not losing as many positions as Brian Maines needs, so unfortunately it looks like Gary LaViolette for Ryan Maines won't be able to almost
battle.
Sorry. I am just watching this 1 and 4.
Okay, but battle for the lead. Ray Partridge has caught the 29 of Mark Walls. Walls taking a higher lane throughout the turns here. Coming up on his teammate who is still a lap down, but Ray Partridge is there in that 88. 29's a little loose. He's still loose. He caught the truck. Ray Partridge going to go to the inside here. Battle for the lead. We're coming to 10 to go at the stripe. Ray Partridge going to try and take that spot away from Walls. Not going to be able to do it right now. Powering on that bottom. Walls going to have the momentum coming off. And here we go. 10 to go at the line.
Yeah, and if you listened to me earlier, you'll notice I said that this is only the 88. Ooh, they got the traffic in front of him. The 24 just out now. His teammate is the 29. Could something happen between the 24 and the 88? 88's pushing up. Ooh, just going to be able to catch that truck. 24 is going to move out of the way. I mentioned it earlier. This is only the 88's 5th race. Now you might say to yourself, okay, 5th race, how can he have such a good race? But his 4 finishes were 4th, 2nd, 6th, and 4th.
Look at the run he got coming off a 4 there. I believe he's almost going to lead at the line. 14 1,000ths of a second separating him. He's going to have to be very careful trying to run his bottom line. As you saw last time coming out of 2, he was pushing really hard. Wall's pushing a little bit as well. Partridge definitely losing a lot out of 2, but coming out of 4 is where he is the strongest. He's going to dive it into turn number 3. Look at that run. Partridge trying his best to try and win one of these races.
And Ray needs to do it quickly because we've seen this before. We've seen Mark Walls give up some time towards the end of the race, and then we've noticed he saved his tires. Right at the he gets
loose. He's loose.
Oh, caught that truck.
There he goes.
Clear him.
Closing in, close to 5 to go. Ray Partridge, your new leader, out here tonight. He's going to be able to get his preferred line going into 1-2. Going to see if he can keep out in front of that 29. Got 7 to go. There he goes. Yeah, Partridge is pulling now. He's got to be careful about that apron, though. Just about clipped it coming out of 2. I mean, he's got a pretty good gap right now as well.
I mean, if there's anything to learn from this, looking back into some stats here, the 88's best.
What is that? Why? Okay, that was completely weird and uncalled for. The 24, I don't know if he got loose there or not, but he was running the apron like it was a brand new lane. Yeah, he got a little loose there, and
oof, yeah,
there he goes.
Was able to catch that, but we're going to go to the battle between the 68, who should be the last driver into this chase unless something happens. 78 diving into the corner. They are running side by side. This is for position 11th on the track.
Well, we just crossed 5 to go, so if caution does come out, field will be frozen.
Flag ends it. You are correct. And what I was saying before, we highlighted the 68 of Gary LaViolette, the 88's best race this season is at a track, not exact match to this, but pretty close. His best finish so far was at Michigan. He finished 2nd at Michigan behind, Mark Wall's teammate now, Jeff Stabnow.
Yeah, I remember that race. He had a good race there at the end, and he was coming on strong at the end as well, but he just needs to put together 3.5 more laps. Mark Walls a good 10-15 truck lengths behind the 88. He can pretty much put it in cruise mode right now, and he should be okay. About almost a second gap with 3 to go for Ray Partridge.
Yeah, and this isn't just because Ray Partridge is not, he really has no dog in the race here.
Walls, he is in the wall. Very
yeah, he's wiped
slow.
out. The force passed him. Brian Barnes, he's off of the podium right now. So, wow, blocking all these drivers. I'm not sure what the point of that was, but got in front of all of these drivers, slowing everyone down. They had to check up, almost caused an incident there. Mark Walls is all the way back to 8th right now. Ray Partridge, he is 2.5 seconds in front of 2nd right now, in front of Ryan Maines. And you might say to yourself, Ryan Maines, man, 68 out of whack. Sorry, Gary LaViolette off track for a moment. He's back on. He is still holding 13th. Unfortunately, Ryan Maines he's just not going to get it. He's going to be so close, but he's not going to be able to do it. If my calculations are correct, he's going to finish about 5 points out of the chase.
Roundabout, white flag in the air for Ray Partridge. He's put a pretty good gap between him and the 17 of Ryan Maines. Now it doesn't matter if any wreck happens. We're still coming back to the line to finish this thing out.
Ooh.
But the 88, Ray Partridge, rolling through 3 and 4 for the final time. Coming off of turn number 4, Ray Partridge is going to win the Hungry Dragon 150 at Las Vegas.
Oh, the 1 and the 19. They are wrecking out of 4. 1:19.67 were involved.
Leviathan's going to come across home in 13th and 12th, actually, in front of Kip Leo, and going to lock himself into the chase. And Jeff Stabnow just came across the line as well, gonna wrap up that 7th chase position.
Wow, that was wow.
Here we go. Gonna see 88 in victory lane for probably the only time this season in real life and in virtual reality. Here we go. Burn him down, boy. All right, we're going to watch him do a couple burnouts here and then give you your unofficial results. You got the 88 of Ray Partridge, your winner here tonight. Ryan Maines in the 2nd position. So close to making the chase, but not going to get there. Brian Barnes, another truck in the chase. Going to come home in 3rd. Andy Vogt 4th. Andrew Williams, he is a chaser as well. Going to come home into 5th position. Wayne Hutchinson is going to make the chase in 6th. Nick Coon, Sean Breitzman in the chase as well in 8th. Dan Stussy 9th. And Trenton Barrington is going to round out your top 10. John Ottenbacher in 11th. Gary LaViolette, another chaser, going to come home in 12th. 13th is Kip Leo. Chaser D. Palmer in 14th. As well as number 1 seed in the chase, Mark Wall is going to come home in 15th. Nicholas Bishop 16th. Nathan Little 17th. And Jeff Stabnow going to make the chase 2 laps down in 18th. Chad Barker, so close to making the chase as well. He's not going to be able to do it. Going to come home in 19th. 20th goes to Drew Lalonde. Brett Johnson and Carl Burke retired early in the race, and they're going to finish 21st and 22nd. And I believe we have a couple of interviews to get to here.
We do indeed. Our first interviewee is going to be the 4 of Brian Barnes, who is extremely impressive. I'm always impressed by him because he tends to always not qualify or not have the best qualifying effort, and he jumps all the way back up just into the top 5. It seems like almost every race this tends to happen, but man, it's great to see him run. Brian Barnes, you got us.
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. Well, again, like I just said, you qualified 22nd, found yourself a podium at the end there after Mark Walls hit the wall, had some issues there. Talk about your race coming up through the pack and able to bring it on home in 3rd.
Well, I was real surprised about that because of getting in that incident when Drew blinked in and out. All I did was fix it. I saved my extra truck just in case, and I'm surprised that with a wrinkled nose it came on up through there.
Yeah, really. It seemed like for a moment we didn't know how bad the damage was for you because with the blinking, we never know if you ghosted through, but I did see you caught a little bit of damage there. And like you said, had to use that fast repair. But throughout the race, it seemed you were just trying to battle one by one, it seemed. Did you know you had that good of a car underneath it? Because you practiced, in the back in 20th, qualified 22nd. But it seems like you always do that. You always tend to jump up throughout the field in all these races.
Yeah, I'm one of those patient guys that likes to wait for things to play out.
Well, you're definitely in the chase. You were locked in before coming into the race. With no wins, unfortunately, you're going to be seated kind of low on the totem pole. You got any plans for the chase there?
Well, I'm just hoping that Wild Bill Fletcher keeps giving me such great setups. Him and Andy, great teammates to join up with for this Thursday night deal.
Awesome. Well, you got any sponsors, any shout outs you need to make besides those two?
Just you guys and the sponsor of the race. We got to thank them a lot. it's always fun to, like I say, watch this deal on Friday mornings.
Awesome, man. Well, good third place finish. We're looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time as a participant in the chase.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, big thanks to him. And reminder, that was Brian Barnes in the 4 truck, bringing it home in third after not having a qualifying effort to put to his name. And someone just the same qualifying 1 spot ahead of him. The last guy to put in time was the 17 of Ryan Maines. Unfortunately, he is not present at the moment, so we're going to have to skip over him for just a moment. And we're going to go right to our winner, who is the 88 of Ray Partridge. And you talk about I wouldn't say it's a surprise because Ray, I know we just pulled you into the booth. You're a great driver, but you haven't raced pretty much all this season. And when you have, you've gotten top fives. But man, this was a surprise. Talk about your race.
Yeah, it was a big surprise to me too. I didn't know how good the setup was until about probably the second or third caution when I started running some guys down late in the runs. If it went green, I knew I was going to have something for them.
Yeah, it seemed like it, and you were catching Mark Walls rather quickly there. It seemed you guys were going to battle for laps on end, but then Mark got loose there, and it was pretty much your race to lose. You were 2.5 seconds when you took the lead there in front of second, so you pretty much just had to cruise towards the end there. Were you? I mean, I know you said you really didn't expect it, but you've been good the races that you have run this season. It's your 5th race of the season, and you've won. So, are you going to plan on making any more races this season?
This one was probably the last one I was going to make. I had this one circled because I was so good at Vegas during the official weeks this year.
That's awesome, man. Great win. Spoiling it for the chasers out there. So, good on you for that. Any shout outs you need to give out here before we let you go?
Just shout out to Dog Bear Racing, man. Awesome group of guys, man. I thank Gary and Drew for bringing me on, and it's just been a hell of a lot of fun. It was pretty gratifying to beat Mark for my first win in the Truck Series.
Awesome. Well, that's the 88. Your winner here tonight, Ray Partridge. Thanks for coming in. And let's see, do we have second place available?
We do. He was just able to make it into the booth. I think he had to run, had to go to the driver's room real quick, and because I think that race was probably a little crazy for him, but we're gonna pull him in. Ryan Maines, you got us.
I can hear you.
Fantastic, Ryan Maines. It's about time. We have been really wanting, or at least I can say for myself, been wanting to interview you because this has been an interesting season for you. You were so close to getting into the chase, but I think you'll just miss it, unfortunately. But just as close to the chase as you were to this win, it was just right there. Talk about throughout the race, qualifying 21st. You had a lot on your plate to get through towards the end of this race, but walk us through it.
Well, blowing the engine on the qualifying, that certainly didn't help the whole process. But yeah, I was trying to take my time going up through, and people, there was just wrecks that kept happening in front of me. The last one I actually had to use my repair. Thankfully, I didn't have to tow or anything, so I got back out in a decent position after that, and I didn't kept me out of the future ones. I do have to apologize to the number 1 car. Later on I kind of slid up into him after it decided not to stick that time around down low. But yeah, no, the car was really good on long runs. So after the speedy guys got all loose after about 10, 15 laps, I could usually catch up and pass them again. But Ray was just a little bit faster than I was on old tires. I couldn't quite catch him.
Yeah, it seemed for the most part you were battling that truck, working your way through the field because, again, you had a lot to tackle starting in the back. And we saw you weren't the only one that busted their engine in qualifying, but all of you tend to do pretty good. You've been a determined driver throughout this season, and it's been entertaining to watch you, man. And unfortunately, you did not make the chase, but we do wish you luck for the rest of the season. And did you have anyone you wanted to thank or give a shout out to?
Oh, we'll give a shout out to um, oh, brain fart. Sasquatch. They've helped my buddy through some stuff, so give him a little money for sponsorship, so watch. So we'll give him Sasquatch a good shout out. Sasquatch Crossings.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, man. Congrats again on your second place finish here, and we will see you in 2 weeks at Talladega.
All right. Hopefully, I'll win that time.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Wish you the best of luck, bud. And again, that was Ryan Maines. He is an incredible driver, and he and his teammate Andy Vogt. I think Wes, me and you have both said it throughout this season. They've done much better this season than they did the season past. They're definitely getting up towards the front and challenging for some wins, especially towards the end of the season. Here, they're really starting to close these races out, and that's really good to see. But of course, winner Ray Partridge, where in the world did he come from? Again, I've said it throughout the race. I said it during his interview. He has had good finishes when he's raced, but he's only raced 5 out of the 18 races this season. So I think it's really unexpected, especially what happened to Mark Walls. And I mean, you take it where you can get it, I guess. And weeks from now, oh, this is going to get interesting.
Yeah, we're going from a place you play craps to a crapshoot. So yeah, 2 weeks time at Talladega is definitely going to be one to watch for. Your official chasers in chase seating. You have Mark Walls in seed number 1, Sean Brightsman number 2. You got Wayne Hutchinson going to be the 3rd seed. You have Andrew Williams, D. Palmer, and Jeff Stadnow all going to be tied for the 4th seed, and for the 7th seed, Brian Barnes will be tied with Gary LaViolette. Those are going to be the 8 drivers that we're going to pay the most attention to here in the next couple of weeks. In 3 weeks' time, we'll be eliminating 2 of those said drivers. And then, 3 weeks after that, another 2 will be gone. And then we'll be in Homestead in June for the final 4 for the final race of the Northwest Truck Series season for this year. Of course, big shout out goes to Ray Partridge, part-time driver, gets to win. You don't really get to see those stories much in racing, but and definitely a good race tonight. That long run stuff prevailed. So good on everybody for keeping it out of the caution side of things for a little while. But again, we will see y'all on Sunday night. We have the Pacific Majors Sargent's Place 600. We'll see a lot of familiar faces from the Northwest Truck Series running in that. We are broadcasting the Sportsman Split, so that's going to be a fun one to watch. Again, it's 600 miles, 400 laps around Charlotte at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific time. But for Katie Reed, Tony Knuckles, and Cafe Olay running the ones and twos on the production here tonight, I am West the Mess. We are OCTV, and we are out.